Golden Boy is the last episode of the fifth and final season of All Grown Up. This is, of course, according to Wikipedia. Sometimes there are inconsistencies with the order of the episodes. For example, it's definitely not the last one on Amazon Prime. But as far as I can tell, this was the last one to be broadcast. As a final episode, it's not great. It doesn't feel like this brilliant finale. Of course, I don't know if they knew that season 5 would be the last one, or if they only found out afterwards. But I now stand by what I said in my previous discussion, that Brothers Grimm would have made a really brilliant final episode. It's a solid penultimate episode, would have been a fantastic way to end things. On its own, Golden Boy is not a bad episode, but isn't worthy of being the final episode. Tommy becomes jealous of Dill, because Dill is out spending time with Grandpa Lou, and this is because Tommy was busy. Tommy had other plans, but when he sees Grandpa doing things with Dill, such as going to see a film with him, and as Tommy points out, he's the film guy, he starts to get really jealous, and they start to fight for Lou's attention and Lou's affection. And I won't say how they do this or where they end up going, but we have a range of different environments and different locations. Visually, there are a lot of different things to look at. I thought Grandpa Lou's performance was brilliant. I thought the way he handled things was interesting. Again, I won't say any more than that as I don't want to spoil it, but he certainly brought something really, really fascinating to this. It wasn't the direction I expected things to go, and I really liked what he did. Obviously, Tommy's behaviour isn't great. He shouldn't feel the need to fight for his grandpa's affection, and this is obviously the main message here. I think there are two messages. The first is that people have enough love to go around, they have enough time to spend with you. The other message is that you shouldn't be fighting with your brother over something like this, and you really should be working together most of the time instead. So we have some really good messages. As I said, we had a lot of different locations, there's a lot to look at, and I really loved Grandpa Lou in this. We haven't really had a proper Grandpa Lou story in a while, so this seemed really well done and very timely. So I'm not complaining that we ended on this story necessarily, because it isn't bad, and we have some good messages. But I do feel like the previous episode, with all of the babies together, Angelica and Susie weren't in it, but all of the main babies were, and they were playing together away from television, and it just felt like a really great way to end things. So I wish that had been the finale, but on its own, Golden Boy is not a bad episode. I think the narrative is handled really well. The characters in this are, of course, really interesting, and we have some good messages. So Golden Boy, not a bad episode. I don't think it's worthy of being the finale, even though, of course, that is what it is. But ultimately, I didn't think it was too bad at all. And I have now finished. I have reached the end of All Grown Up, which must have taken me about a year, because I've been doing one episode a week. And there are circa 50 episodes, 55 episodes, I think. So it must have, in fact, I'm going to check. Okay, instead of me rambling, I did just have a look, and I actually reviewed the first episode in February of last year, but then I started reviewing them, I think, weekly from September of last year, so not quite a year. I think I might have done 2 a week at one point. Either way, it's been a long journey, really thoroughly enjoyed it, really nostalgic. Let's hope that the rest of the new Rugrats reboot become available online at some point. I'm looking at you, Amazon Prime, and between then and now, I don't know what I'm going to do without Rugrats. We'll see. But this has been a fun journey, and although it's not what I wanted from the final episode, Golden Boy is still pretty good.